Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Īśopaniṣad class. So today also we have student presentations or devotee presentations. So probably this will be the last class on Śrī Īśopaniṣad. So we completed Īśopaniṣad and today we are completing the devotee presentations. For Bhakti Shastri devotees, this next week is the test. So all the best for that. And yeah, let us start with Mangalacharan prayers. So I will recite the prayers and let me share my screen so that we all can see the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitanscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharine He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Hare. Sri Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Okay. Then let us recite the invocation verse and the first verse of Śrī Īśopaniṣad. So we have this. Om Purnamadaha
Om Purnamada
Purnamidam
Purnamidam
Purnat Purnamudachyate
Purnamudachyate
Purnasya
Purnasya
Purnamadaya
Purnamadaya
Purnamevavashishyate.
Purnamevavasishyate.
The personality of Godhead
Personality of Godhead
is perfect and complete. And because he is completely perfect,
because he is completely perfect,
all emanations from him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. Whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself. Because he is the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from him,
even though so many complete units emanate from him,
he remains the complete balance.
He remains the complete balance.
Ishavarsham idam sarvam
Ishavarsham idam sarvam
yat kincha jagatyam jagat
yat kincha jagatyam jagat
tena tyaktena bhunjitha
तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीथा
आगृधः कस्य स्विद्धनम्.
मागृधः कस्य स्विद्धनम्
Dharam.
Everything animate or inanimate
everything
Everything
animate or
animate or
inanimate
inanimate
within this universe
within
that
this
is
universe
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 is controlled and owned by the Lord.
is
is
controlled
controlled and owned by the Lord.
One should therefore accept only those things
One should
One should therefore accept only those things
necessary for himself,
necessary for himself,
which are set aside as his quota,
which are set aside as his quota,
and one should not accept other things,
and one should
and
not
one should not accept other things,
knowing well to whom they belong.
knowing well to
whom they
whom they
belong.
belong.
Very nice. Okay, so thank you so much. So with that, we will start with devotee presentation. So the first one is Ramakant Prabhu. He is going to present on mantras 9 and 10. So please give him your kind attention. And I think you can screen share, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Okay, we can see.
Yes, my screen's visible to all.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So, good morning. Suprabhat. As per our timing in India, as it is 7:35 over here, and a very good evening to all the present over US, to all those who are present in this Shravan and Sankirtan of proceeding of Īśopaniṣad. First of all, I would like to thank Prabhu Param Karunadas ji, our teacher, for giving me this opportunity to speak before this past participants. I would also like to thank Param Leela Devi Mataji, who have who made all these arrangements for these proceedings. As I am not fluent in English, so and with lesser vocabulary also, so I will present in English, Hindi and English mix. So those who might not understand Hindi well, they will please bear with me, and I take pardon from them. So let me start. Due to paucity of the time constant, I will start with only first two and last slokas of daily prayers. Om Timirandhasya Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Gyanan Salsalakaya Chachuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Mano Abhistam Astavitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Hadagamaham Dadati Swapadantikam Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Now with my Dandavat Pranam obeisance to A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swamiji and other Swamijis, also starting from Srila Rup Goswamiji and Gaur Vaishnava Sampradaya, I will start my proceeding. So, Īśopaniṣad. We all know that Upanishads are Shruti. That is spoken by the Lord himself, like Vedas. So every word is very important. And I am to say that my understanding, I am to here to say my understanding by the grace of Prabhu Karunadas ji, and A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami ji about mantra 9 and 10. So let us see first, what is mantra 9? Mantra 9. Tam pravishanti ye vidyam upasate tato bhuya ivate evam tamo ya uvidyayam rata. So it is comparison between, that you have seen, vidyayam, avidyayam. So the important verse in first line of this is mantra is andham. This andham, that is agyan. Second word is tamasa, that is darkness. And third important word in this line is avidyayam. So andha, everyone knows, that is agyan, tamah, darkness. Avidyam, that is me and mine, no formal knowledge from any source, unaware of the consequences, live their life in their own way, that is eat, drink, and be merry. So upasate, the next word is upasate. Avidyam upasate, that is worshipping the avidya part. So I think there is no confusion. Very clear that those who are not educated, knowledgeable, but live their life as without knowing the purpose of getting their human life, are moving towards darkness of ignorance. Now, what is the second line? Second line is tato bhuya ivate. Tato bhuya ivate, matlab bhuya means more. Bhuya te, ve, those. Kaun do? Who are vidyayam rata. Those who are getting, those who are living according to the knowledge received. So they are going towards more darkness. They are going towards more of bhuya te bhuya. Those who are process of getting and living according to the knowledge they are going in more darkness. So are these not confusing lines? At the first sight, at first glance, even getting direct translation, one cannot understand what has been said in this mantra. So confusing that in the society, the persons well educated in the field of engineering, medicine, management, commerce, industries, and so many, you can name so many in arts and field, in arts also. So they are going towards more darkness. What a contradiction is. And that is why it is said that Vedas, that is Shruti and Upanishad, also Shruti, are Gyan and Guhya. And to understand these scriptures, you must listen, read the purport from qualified persons. So here is this mantra, Vidya is so called, here the Vidya. So why is this confusion? Because Vidyayam Rata, the mantra speaks Vidyayam Rata. So this mantra, here the Vidya is so-called Vidya, which is in reverse path of knowing the absolute truth. Param Satya. Param Satya ko जानने की तरफ अगर हम नहीं चल रहे हैं, तो then it is, even if you are learning something, that is not Vidya. That is so-called Vidya. And it is more relevant these days because we everyone know that where our education system is going on. So this so-called culture of knowledge. Let me remind you that base of his spiritual thinking, and that is mantra 1 of Īśopaniṣad. What it says? Isha vasyamidam sarvam yat kinchat jagatyam jagat, which means everything, not only in this world, but whole universe belongs to Isha, that is Lord, Bhagwan. And forgetting this basic fact is avidya. So only knowledge leading towards materialistic knowledge, so-called achievements without considering role of Ishwar, is avidya. So the so-called vidya is also in this mantra is referring as to avidya. And those who are leading towards this avidya are leading towards more dangerous. They are more dangerous. हम स्वयं अनुभव नहीं कर रहे हैं. आप सोचिए, अगर ज्यों-ज्यों शिक्षितों की संख्या बढ़ती जा रही है, knowledgeable persons, they are increasing in the society, suffering भी उतनी ही बढ़ रही है. Why this? 99.9% are involved in industrialization, economic process, social service, political proactives. All our sufferings are increasing day by day. Even in my childhood, I presume that, I think that we were not that much suffering. Might be economically, we were thinking that we are weak, but even then, the other sufferings were not there. Mental stress was not there at that time. So even paropkar, that is in the name of social service. What they are doing? They are also doing for materialistic achievement. Most of the NGOs, most of the NGOs, they are not performing as per the path of getting absolute truth. So even राजनीति में सक्रिय लोग क्या करते हैं? Political, those who are politically proactive, they are also involved in and think about more and more material achievements, and so are wrongdoers. दुष्प्रवृत्ति लोग हैं ये. और भगवान ने 7:15 गीता के बाद 15 में क्या कहा है ऐसे लोगों को? दे आर मूढ़ाज न मा दुष्कृतनो मूढ़ा प्रवदन्ते नराधमा. ऐसे दुष्प्रवृत्त लोग मूढ़ा हैं. Those who wrongdoers are मूर्ख. And at the level of donkeys, as per Bhaktivedanta Swami ji, some might think that it is against the animal. We are saying because animals is also having the same God from Īśopaniṣad and what we are reading in Bhagavad Gita. So we are at the level now we can think of that. Everyone is having same God as Atma in this body. So might be गधा कहना जरा बुरा लग सकता है, लेकिन भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी जी ने उन्हें गधे की तरह वो कहा है, because it is symbolizes the biggest fools in this world. So they are involved exclusively in sexual enjoyment. Again, reference is there, as you have seen, to Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter and 42-43. There are so many. क्या कहता है? यामिमाम पुष्पिताम वाच प्रवदन्ति विपश्चित वेदवादरता पार्थ नान्यम् अस्तीति वादिना कामात्मन स्वर्गपरा जन्म कर्म फलप्रदाम क्रिया विशेष बहुलाम भोगैश्वर्य गतिम प्रति. प्रवदन्ति मतलब बोलते हैं. तो पुष्पिताम दिखावटी. We have seen, I mean, you are also watching so many this TV serials and bhakti. There are so many bhakti channels, and we are seeing all this. So they are अविपश्चित अल्पज्ञानी लोग, दिखावटी, just to show off. So should I quote is this, if any one of them is contacted by you for having a Bhagavad Gita class or Bhagavad class, they will charge 15 lakhs to 20 lakhs for this. So what is all this? So they tell themselves as Ved Vadrata, मतलब वेदों के अनुयायी हैं वो. So most of them वेद के जानने वाले अपने शब्दों के अनुसार, they are in sensual enjoyment also. They are also, वो स्वर्ग हेवन की कामना करेंगे, बताएंगे वो स्वर्ग सबसे बड़ा कहाँ है, आप स्वर्ग में जाओगे, वहां अप्सराएं मिलेंगी. This is all sexual enjoyment. They are actually leading their followers towards the sensual enjoyment also. विशेष क्रियाओं से ऐश्वर्य से भोग की इच्छा अनुसार कार्य करते हैं. So even persons with Vedic knowledge are so-called knowledgeable involved in materialistic enjoyment and entering towards more dangerous path. Even most of them condemn spiritual knowledge too. They as outdated and asked for modern thinking and relevance, whereas Bhagavad Gita clearly speaks in 15.15. क्या कहता है भगवद गीता? सर्वस्याहं हृदये सन्निविष्टो मत्तः स्मृतिर् ज्ञानमपोहनं च वैदेश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदांत कृद्वेदविदेव चाहम्. स्मृति, ज्ञान एवं विस्मृति, the knowledge from the previous birth, those विगत जीवन के विषय में, सबके हृदय मुझ में मैं ही हूं. तो वेदों के द्वारा जानने योग्य भी मैं भी हूं. I am the final authority which is to be acknowledged as that वेद is me. और वेदांत का संकलन करता, संकल्प और समस्त वेदों का जानने योग्य सिर्फ मैं ही हूं. Then ignoring the basic fact is one is involved in materialistic sense gratification, ignoring the basic purpose of his getting himself after roaming as many life of the many species in the past and not moving in the path of Krishna consciousness. He is going towards more darkness because he knows about good deeds and bad deeds, but involved in temporary achievements otherwise. पढ़ तो लिया है लेकिन उसके अनुसार काम नहीं करना है. तो then what is the result? So they lost the real purpose of the life, or they are involved in temporary treatment and relief of human of the problems. And other results because of this so-called knowledge are animosity, as we are seeing. उग्र हो गए, बहुत ज्यादा ज्ञान है हमारे, सो उग्रता आ गई. और बिकॉज ईसा वास्तमिदम सर्वम यत् किंचित जगत्याम जगत, इसको भूल गए हैं. सो वास फॉर सुप्रीमेसी, डेंजर टू नेचर लाइक एनवायरमेंट हैजर्ड्स. हम अपनी सुविधाओं को बढ़ाते जा रहे हैं. जितना ही सुविधाएं बढ़ रही हैं उतना ही हम ये तो ध्यान ही नहीं दे रहे हैं कि उससे हम अपनी सुविधाओं को बढ़ाने के लिए दो advances which are we making in the name of science, ultimate we are hazardous. They are hazardous, and problems are we are seeing it. So water pollution, air pollution, damaging ozone layer, etc. We are seeing it. So overuse of resources from quota of coming generation. That is against the Isavasya principle. So what is the remedy? So remedy is to develop culture of knowledge. So now we'll come to next mantra 10, what it says. Here it is real Vidya. Now, where in mantra 9, we said that Vidyayam Rata, they are going in more darkness. That was so-called Vidya. Now, it is clarified in mantra 10 that what Adat eva ahu Vidya, Anyat ahu avidya, it subhram dhiranam yena tat vichachire. Anyat, that is sure, निश्चय, and surely. आहु मतलब कहा है, कौन, किसने कहा है, धीराणाम, that is in the next line, धीराणाम येन च विचक्षरे, क्या कहा है, अविद्या, advancements towards material sense gratification, that is ignorance. तो अविद्या and vidya क्या है, process to get out of 24 elements controlling the jiva is culture of knowledge. Now, this is where we have to develop this culture of knowledge, just controlling, get out of the 24 elements which are controlling this jiva, that is Atma. So, and the second line is Dhira Nam. Dhira Nam means from Dhir person, Dhir, Dhira Nam, Dhiro ke dwara. So from Dhiraj. So who are Dhira? Let us elaborate this mantra. Let me elaborate. What in this universe we are? Question arises. What we are? Not in sense of only Atma, but see it at merits, not Atma. I'm not discussing with Atma now. Just at materialistic ground, if you see where we are. Our universe is one of the Akash Gangas, we know, having one sun. There are many suns in the Akash Ganga, and there are many Akash Gangas are there, and under our universe, there are, then we come to this world, there are 7 continents, as you know, Africa, Asia, Europe, North America, South America, Australia, and Antarctica. And in this universe, countries, large and small, there are so many countries also. So in map, if we want to locate Portland, say, you are there in Portland. So I say India, where I am. So what we will see, in Portland, the population is more than 2 billion, but in India, it is more than 141 billion. So if we see ourselves from high capacity telescope or something above the this earth, we put, and we see ourselves, what will we see as a human being we are? A tiny particle. So, and materialistic level, and we want to show ourselves a great personality with huge money, material in our custody, forgetting the basic needs of roti, kapda, and makan. Basic need, what we need? Roti चाहिए, कपड़ा चाहिए, मकान चाहिए. इसके अलावा ध्यान चाहिए, भगवान का भजन चाहिए, ईश्वर में कृष्ण कॉन्शसनेस चाहिए. अगर ये तीनों चीजें पूर्ति होती रहे तो हमें श्रम की ज्यादा जरूरत क्यों पड़नी चाहिए? So we are busy in 24 hours thinking to have more and more tending towards avidya. So what is culture of knowledge? Real vidya. Bhagavad Gita, this 13, 8 to 12, what says it? This important unallied devotional to Krishna is very important in this. This is you can see it. This is unallied devotion to Krishna. Well, the things you can see: amanitvam, adambitam, ahimsa, shanti, arjavam, acharya upasanam, shaucham, aistharyam, atmavinigraha, indriyartheshu, vairagyam, anhankara, janma mrityu, jara vyadhi dukh dos anudarshanam. This is also very important, because this is the real purpose of this human life, which has been given by the mercy of the Lord. Asakti, anviswanga, putradar griha disho. Nityam cha samchintya ishta anishta upapattishu. Mami cha ananya yogena bhakti avyabhicharani vivikta desha saivitvam arti jan samsadi adhyatma gana nityatvam tattva gana arthetu darshanam. This all. This is culture of knowledge. This, which has been not other than anyone. Krishna says this. This is culture of jnanam. This is the culture of etet jnanam iti proktam. सीधा कहते हैं एतत् ज्ञानम iti proktam. Ajnanam yataha ataha anyatha. Everything other than this is ajnan. Everything other than this is ajnan. So there's a clear difference between vidya and avidya. Now, the last line of this is dhira nam. So, those who knows and able to explain, who are dhiras? Those who are able, first thing they must know himself about that absolute truth. And they must also be able to explain that death of the body is not the end of journey of life. So, when one practices and realizes the Supreme, he is no more get affected by material illusions. मोहग्रस्तता की स्थिति ही नहीं आएगी उसको. Without self-realization, one cannot get the level of to be unaffected of Prakriti. And after self-realization, he neither has any requirement nor he becomes sad of any circumstances. He realizes that this material body, including the mind, which has been attained by him of the basic 5 elements, you know. How it get back? Yeah. Oh, yes. So, which has not been attained by him where I am, which not the material body, including the mind, which has been attained by him of the 5 basic elements, are outside elements. And so he uses this opportunity of taking this birth as a human being in the best way. So Dhira must have some qualifications. These qualifications, because he is knowledgeable, he has already in the upper most level of the knowledge of the absolute truth. So in the nectar of instruction, Sri Rup Goswami ji has described in his first sloka of NOI, what he says, Vacho Vegam. Vacho Vegam means, जब चुप रहना था तो बोल गए और जब बोलना था तो चुप रह गए. Reactions, vacho reactions. Anyone said something to you and you reacted. This vacho vegam. Then manasa krodha vegam. So mind and anger urges. भगवान ने गीता में 6वें अध्याय के दूसरे अध्याय, दूसरे अध्याय के 62 में कहा है, मनसः वेद, ये क्रोध वेग का कारण कैसे बना? ध्यायताम विषयान पुंस संगते सुपजायते संगात संजायते कामः कामात् क्रोधः विजायते. So manasah, attachment, when our mind roams here and there with all our previous practices in the sexual entertainment, enjoyment. So as soon as it comes in contact, mind comes in contact, our mind comes in contact. So kama sangat subjayate, sangat sanjayate kama. So immediately काम उत्पन्न हो जाता है. कामना मतलब डिजायर, चाहिए चाहिए चाहिए, मतलब ए डिजायर. एंड जैसे ही वो डिजायर उत्पन्न होती है तो दूसरा क्या होता है, कामात् क्रोधो भिजायते, काम से ही क्रोध उत्पन्न होता है. वाई, यदि वो चीज मिल गई तो फिर वो बेकार है, फिर कुछ दिनों के बाद दूसरी कामना शुरू हो जाएगी, इमीडिएट माइंड दूसरी तरफ चला जाएगा. और अगर नहीं मिला, if you have not attained that whatsoever you desire, if that is not available to you, then due to any hindrance, so anger will immediately appear in your so संगा. फिर और इसके बाद तो फिर पूरी सीरीज शुरू हो गई. इसके बाद पूरी सीरीज शुरू हो गई. क्रोधात् बहुत सम्मोह, सम्मोहात् स्मृत भ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशात् और बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. So what is the fourth way? 3 way के बाद fourth way is जिह्वा वेग. For a taste, we eat things not suitable for our body, and that too without offering to the Lord, and to take prasadam only. So not cold drinks, spicy, कड़वा खाना, कसैला कड़वा. वो अगर याद हो तो कहा गया, दिस इज राजसी, राजसी प्रवृत्ति, कसैला कड़वा. सो तामसी भोजन, राजसी और तामसी भोजन जो है ये हम अगर कर रहे हैं तो इस वेग को, जिह्वा वेगम, वो धीर पुरुष क्या होगा, जिह्वा वेगम को करेगा, रोकेगा. उदर, दैट इज दिस स्टमक. अच्छा लगे तो ज्यादा चलेगा. बहुत सारे लोग जब किसी पार्टी में जाते हैं, so many varieties of things are there, and what they, everything they take, everything. वो थोड़ा खाया फेंका, थोड़ा खाया फेंका. They want to take everything. वो कूड़ा घर बना दिया, गार्बेज स्टोर अपने उधर को. So ultimate, what is that? You will be sick. Ailments will start. And upastha, ये तो खैर सामाजिक व्यवस्था में मोस्ट डैमेजिंग थिंग जो हम सभी जानते हैं. तो ये सबसे महत्वपूर्ण कारण ये हुआ. एतान वेगान यो विषहेतु धीरः, जो इन वेगों को, these urges, who can control these urges, he is धीरः, वो धीर है. एंड ऐसा सर्वाम अपि इमाम पृथ्वी च शिष्यात्, that person, that dhira, is capable of making disciple to everyone on this earth. So for culture of knowledge, where we have to go, from dhir to dhiraj, dhir persons, we must go to dhiraj. So for getting Gyan, one must be in companionship of dhiraj, who are capable of becoming spiritual teachers and following yam of no meat, no to meat, no to toxicant, no to gambling, no to illicit sex. That is yam. That is, and along with following the path of Navadha Bhakti, one must surrender to Supreme. Sahi Vidya है, यही परम साक्षात्कार का मार्ग है. इसके अतिरिक्त सभी कुछ अविद्या. उद्धरेत आत्मनात्मानं न आत्मान अवसादेत आत्महि आत्मनो बंधु आत्मैव रूपात्मनः. So dear friends, you are friend of your Atma, and you yourself may be your enemy. So keep participating in bhakti. Keep getting knowledge of Gyan through bhakti. So once again, I am very much thankful to Prabhuji and Mataji, and especially all you participants जिन्होंने इतने समय तक मुझे इतने धैर्य से मुझे सुना है, और मैं अपनी वाणी को निम्नलिखित स्वरचित प्रेयर के साथ अपना विराम देना चाहूंगा. I will like to end with this prayer. इच्छाओं का अंत हो, मिट जाए सारे क्लेश, इतुत सब तुम ही दिखो रहे न मन में, महामंत्र के जाप से विषय संग न हो, करता रहूं सबको क्षमा वैरी दिखे न को, हो विवेक जागृत मेरा कर्म बने निष्काम, तेरी कृपा जो मिल सके तो पहुंचूं तेरे धाम, तो पहुंचूं तेरे धाम. जय श्री कृष्ण, जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय श्री राम. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. श्री प्रभुपाद की जय. ओम तत्सत.
Hare Krishna. Very
Hare
nice.
Krishna.
Prabhu, very nice.
Very nice, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Your prayer at the end was very nice. It was self-composed, I think.
Yeah, yes,
Very nice.
certainly.
बहुत अच्छा.
I was just sitting and mind, as soon as I got this 15 to 18 verse and last, so I started thinking what to write.
Very nice.
And from Īśopaniṣad, this is from Īśopaniṣad itself.
Very nice.
Every line is from Īśopaniṣad. Thank you.
We have
Thank
a
you.
question in the homework to compose a prayer. So Prabhuji composed a nice prayer. Thank you. Okay, any questions for Ramakant Prabhuji?
Before, can I ask Prabhuji? Before questions, I have few comments or compliments for Ramakant Prabhuji, if you allow me, Prabhuji, to
Sure.
share.
Please
So,
go ahead.
first of all, Ramakant Prabhuji, Dandavat, my humble obeisance to you.
So, thank you.
I'll request you from onwards that you please stop saying that you don't know English. The way you have delivered your presentation, there are a lot of takeaway for us also. We should take, especially the narrations, the introductions, then very beautifully you have arranged your presentation, and the main thing, the example, how you embedded the multiple real-time examples. It's so phenomenal, Prabhuji. And really, as we are from the India and from North India, we always like that, as you said, the English. When we insert that English, Hindi, जो बोलते ना छोंक, दाल में छोंक लगाते हैं, वो वाली चीज, really it was very good to hear after a long time.
By the grace of God. By the grace of God, and by Swamiji, Prabhuji also, he has given us so much knowledge.
All glory to, yeah, definitely. Or we know that Prabhuji, I have been hearing from a couple of times, you are away from your hometown and you are really struggling for your internet. Though you arrange everything, you did all. It's really sastang to you, and we should learn from that. Despite of that glitches of internet, despite of you are away from your hometown, some reasons, personal reasons or medical reasons, top of that, you have such confidence that you prepared these 2 verses and you delivered. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So all by the mercy of the God. Everything towards the God. Om Tat Sat.
Ramakantji, it is very great. Even at a remote place, you could prepare very nicely.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Very nice class, Prabhuji. Thank you for that. And it's very inspirational. Hare Krishna.
Very nice, Prabhuji.
All right, looks like then we will, any questions or yeah, I completely agree with all the comments. Very nice points that you made, and your examples were very good from the real world. So thank you so much. And the expectation is now that you should all go and share this in your little circles, whatever they are, your friends, neighbors, and everything. The whole purpose of Bhakti Shastri is to understand the scriptures at a core level, so that we can answer questions, we can understand the overall philosophy, and from that, when we know 10 things, we should be able to be confident to share one. So so this is giving a lot of preparation, so that you can go and share little bit as one of the things and also apply it in your life. So wonderful, very nice. Okay, so let us continue to Shyam Leela Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So Mataji will be talking about 15 and 16, I believe.
Yes, Prabhuji.
All right. So you have the permission to share screen. I have given it to everyone. So you can start whenever you would like.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
And before you start, I'm seeing a message from Sarvashakti Mataji saying that some reason she's unable to unmute or something like that. So very, very beautiful presentation, very thorough with examples, and she's appreciating the nice work of Ramakant Prabhu. All right, all yours, Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhujis and Matajis, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to Guru Maharaj. First of all, Ramakant Prabhuji did such an amazing presentation that I feel a little intimidated going after him. So please pray to our beloved Lord Krishna that he gives me the right words to speak at the right time, so that I may do a little justice to all the wonderful knowledge that Param Karuna Prabhuji and Mataji have shared with us. When I say anything right, it is only because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, our Guru Maharaj, and Prabhuji and Mataji. When I say something wrong, please forgive me. I take complete blame for it. I'm a very fallible human being and I make lots of mistakes. So please forgive me and please do correct me and keep me in your prayers. So today I will be talking about mantras 15 and 16. Both of these mantras are beautiful prayers to the Lord. So let's move on and get a little bit into the prayers. So mantra 15, please forgive me if my meter is wrong or if my pronunciations are wrong. Hiranmayena patrena satyasapihitam mukham tattvam pusham apavrinum satya dharmaya drishtaye. What this translates it as, "O my Lord, sustainer of all that lives, your real face is covered by your dazzling effulgence. Kindly remove that covering and exhibit yourself to your pure devotee." So in mantra 15, we see that the devotee is praying to the Lord to remove the Brahma Jyoti, that is the dazzling effulgence, so that the bhakt can see his beautiful form. In mantra 16, Pusan ekarsha yamasurya prajapatya vyuha rashmin samuha tejo yatte rupam kalyanatamam tatte pashyami yosav asau purusha soham asmi. In mantra 16, the translation is, "O my Lord, O primeval philosopher, maintainer of the universe, O regulating principle, destination of the pure devotees, well-wisher of the progenitors of mankind, please remove the effulgence of your transcendental rays so that I can see your form of bliss. You are the eternal supreme personality of Godhead, like unto the sun as am I." So in this mantra, we see that the Bhakt is, along with praying to see Bhagwan's form, he's also praying to realize his own spiritual position in relation to the Lord. We see that in Soham Asmi, and I'll talk a little more about it as we move forward. I just wanted to give a little glimpse of that over here. Now, since both of these beautiful verses are focused on prayers to the Lord, I want to take the opportunity to first try and pinpoint what are the key aspects of prayers and what makes an amazing prayer. Like Prabhuji told us in class, it's an amalgamation of glorification of the Lord, request, and surrendering to the Lord. Whenever I now think of prayers, because of Prabhuji's fantastic explanations, I always remember he's not an order supplier. He's the Lord and we are praying to him. And I heard this beautiful verse somewhere that I felt was so appropriate for a prayer. So that went like, Thakur ji se mangna nahi hai, Thakur ji ko hi mangna hai. What are we going to even ask the Lord for? He's the Supreme. What even stands in front of the Supreme rather than just ask for the Supreme, right? It is like ki jo bhi mil sakta hai to Thakur ji se hi Thakur ji ko mangenge. Those are some of the key aspects of the prayer. And now, why do we pray? Some of the reasons why we pray is, first, it invokes his mercy. If we are calling out like a child, if he's hungry and he's calling out to his mother, the mother knows, okay, chalo, child ko bhook lagi hai jate. Similarly, the Lord is so merciful that if we call out to him once, we have invoked his mercy and his love on us. Our desire when we pray, our desire to connect with Krishna Bhagwan goes ekdam upar, because we see the reciprocation from the Lord and it deepens our relationship with Bhagwan. So we can see like this little cute little kid, what he's doing. And I think that is such a beautiful bond that we can share with only Bhagwan. Who else can have such a pure bond with anybody else? So yeah, like they say, ya Thakur ji hain, ya Thokre hain. It is up to us to decide who we want. Since we've spoken about Lord's reciprocation and we've spoken about begging Lord for his reciprocation, one of the things that Prabhuji mentioned that we need to remember is, are we actually ready for his reciprocation? Or are we only ready if he gives us what we want? Doctor ke paas jayenge, if he gives us a birthday cake flavored pain relief, we'll be like, okay, I'll take it. But if he says, okay, I'm going to give you a big injection of something, so, you know, what are we going to say? No, I don't want. Similarly with Bhagwan, sometimes what he gives us is not what we went to him for. Are we ready for that when we are asking, and do we trust him that much? So this is a beautiful story of how Bharat Maharaj went to Prabhu Shri Ram, and he had two things. First, he said, okay, I will stay back here. And Prabhu said, no, you have to go back to Ayodhya and rule in my name. And he did that, even though that was not what he wanted. But kyunki Bhagwan ne bola hai, to Bhagwan ne right hi bola hai. And that's how, to kyunki Bhagwan ne diya hai, it is a mercy. And we take it nonetheless. Is that the mood of reciprocation that we are prepared to be in when we are praying to the Lord? Okay. So now that we've understood what reciprocation is, I want to go a little bit into the fundamental points that mantra 15 and 16 talk about. And both of them defeat imperialism, despite the woo-hoo moment for imperialists with Soham Asmi, they actually do. So let's take a look at how that happens and how imperialism and reductionism actually function.
Impersonalism, not imperialism.
Impersonalism, sorry, what did I say?
Imperialism.
I'm so sorry, please, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I'm so sorry. Impersonalism and reductionism. Let's see how that works. And so with impersonalism, the phenomenon that Srila Prabhupada mentioned is Sankhya philosophy, which boils into sort of reducing everything into numbers and trying to explain stuff through numbers, as is the process with reductionism. They want to reduce these complex phenomena into most basic parts, and somehow we think, okay, if we understand a part, we can somehow extrapolate it and then force fit it to understand the complete picture or the whole. That doesn't always work, especially for spiritual knowledge, it cannot work. So the Lord is so full of paradoxes and complexities, and everything in the spiritual world is conscious. So we'll see why that cannot work. We all have seen the Damodar Leela story, right? So what happens first is the Prabhu gets up and he's sitting with Maya, and then the milk suddenly boils, because some of our acharyas, I heard in a commentary that acharya said that the milk was so eager to serve Prabhu that the milk boiled and came out of a consciousness of, I want to serve Prabhu, right? So that's a conscious pot of milk. How are we going to explain that in the material world if we don't have the mercy of our acharyas to read beautiful commentaries by them? So when that happens, our beloved Damodar, he's not Damodar by then, but he gets up and he gets so furious that why did Maya leave me and go into the kitchen? So he breaks this beautiful, amazing pot of butter that Maya had made for Diwali and feeds it to the monkeys. Maya looks at him, the Supreme Lord that death is scared for, right? He sees Maya is chasing him and he has fear in his eyes. The Supreme Lord, what would he be afraid of? But those are the paradoxes. He's running from Maya with fear, such fear. And then Maya tries to tie him. No rope is enough to tie him. Every time there's a 2-finger gap that stays in, right? So apparently the rope is also conscious. So all of this we see in the spiritual world is so beautifully conscious. How can all of these things be explained by impersonalism or reductionism? We can't even explain the material world. How are we going to explain the spiritual world like that? In the material world, all of us conditioned souls have 4 defects because of which we can't explain a lot. Srila Prabhupada has written a beautiful purport on that, and the 4 defects that we have are Brahm, which means all of us have the propensity to make mistakes. I already made 15, I think, in this presentation yet, because our senses are sometimes fooled. Then we have the propensity to be illusioned because our intelligence is fooled. For example, if we look at someone who we deeply respect, and it seems like they are doing something wrong, but our mind sometimes does not accept that they may be doing something wrong. We always think, okay, this is maybe someone else's fault, and person X who we respect is just responding to that person. You know, he's not the aggressor, he's not the one who's doing something. So that is how our intelligence can sometimes be fooled because of the illusion. We all have, well, conditioned souls, not everyone. Conditioned souls have the propensity to cheat. Like, for example, they are cheating their own ego too when your ego is full. Dhritarashtra knew after Bhishma Pitama had died that, okay, this is the Supreme Lord, we're going to lose the war. But he was so much into it. There was that sunk cost fallacy, so much had already been invested that he was too egotistical to now go back onto his words. Right? Now we itna kar liya, now we have to see it through, sort of your ego is now bruised or your ego is now fooled. And the 4th thing is limited senses. Even if we want to pursue something, sometimes we have all the intellectual honesty in the world. We want to perceive it as is, but we don't have the senses to perceive it. It's just impossible. We don't have the capacity to do it, which is why we can't. So all of these defects coming in play, which is why impersonalism and reductionism cannot work to understand the spiritual life. Because we spoke about ego, I'm going to take this beautiful example that Prabhuji gave of the difference between our desire to be looked at, like a table, the kind of ego that it only wants to be looked at, versus our desire to look at others. That is where we become a conscious Jivatma, where we're trying to minimize our ego a little bit and looking at others, right? Sometimes we see this for fallen souls like me. Sometimes when I used to go to the mandir, it used to be always of, who will look at me, right? And I have to always get a reality check. Nobody's looking at you. Nobody's come here to look at you. So those are some of the reality checks to our egos, to fallen people like me, that I have to keep giving. Nobody's looking at you. You know, it's not about you. So that is one of the things that I wanted to mention since we spoke about it for a little bit. Okay. Now, Soham Asmi, right? This is the hurrah moment for impersonalism enthusiasts. Let's see what our acharyas have actually commented on this and how it has. So when he says Soham Asmi, like we spoke about, this prayer is for the bhakt to realize also not just the beautiful form of the Lord, but also his own spiritual position in relation with the Lord, right? So qualitatively, yes, we are one with the Lord, but quantitatively we are not. So understanding that qualitatively we are all one with the Lord, Soham Asmi, and we are all parts and parcels of the Lord. But quantitatively, it is like the sun and the rays of sun. It's qualitatively the same and quantitatively very different. Verse 16 mentions the word tamam, which is a comparison word because it means most. If the Lord were not personal, the use of the word tamam would be a little redundant. So, you know, because it emphasizes that the Lord is infinitely more beautiful than any of us combined. Like we have such limited senses, like we spoke about one of the defects that we probably can't even imagine. No, we 100% can't even imagine how beautiful it is. I think Prabhuji had given an example of a saint who had drawn a picture of Prabhu, and when he actually saw Bhagwan, he was like, what have I drawn? This is this, and then tore it, right? We can't even imagine the beauty of the Lord. So the word tamam. So this is a beautiful prayer that Lord Brahmaji's prayer from Srimad Bhagavatam that I found on the beauty of the Lord, and I wanted to take this opportunity to share it with everyone. So Brahmaji says, the day may come when the material scientists, after many, many births, will be able to estimate the atomic constitution of the whole world, or count the atomic fragments that permeate the sky, or estimate all the atoms within the universe. But they will never be able to count the transcendental qualities in your reservoir of transcendental bliss, nor describe your inconceivable beauty. I thought this was such a beautiful, such a meaningful prayer for the beauty of the Lord. And this is Śrī Radha Madan Mohan Ji, the supremely beautiful Lord who also enchants Cupid himself, right? Hence the name Madan Mohan. Śrī Radha Madan Mohan Ji ki Jai. Let's talk about some of the other words that also indicate the personal aspect of Bhagwan in mantra 15 and 16. So the mantra says Mukham, which is face, Pushan, which is maintainer, refers to a person. Why would someone be a maintainer if he were not a person? Ekarsha is a philosopher. Prajapatya is the one who is the well-wisher of the Prajapatis. Rupam Kalyan Samam means the one with the most auspicious form, and Purusha is the supreme personality of Godhead. Mantra 6 also emphasizes on the fact that the Bhagwan feature is actually greater than the Brahma Jyoti effulgence, because the effulgence is clearly in front of the face. So without the face, the effulgence would not be able to stay. The face is the primary sort of feature, and the effect of the cause, that is the effect is the effulgence. So that is also another aspect that we see through these two mantras. And yes, thank you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, very nice.
Beautiful, beautiful,
Very nice.
beautiful pictures. Beautiful.
Very nice. Thank you.
Wonderful, Mataji. Thank you.
Very nice.
Any specific questions or comments for Mataji from anyone? Okay, you can raise your hand if you would like to. Go ahead. Anyone? Somebody was saying.
Just a wonderful presentation, Mataji. Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
very wonderful presentation, Mataji. Awesome. Very, very beautiful pictures. and you gave darshan of lot of.
No, it's wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you
I
so
would
much,
like to
Mataji.
second that. All the presentations you prepare, Mataji, it's definitely take a lot of time and effort. So it's really good, and especially the mesmerizing, all the beautiful pictures of Krishnji, Radha Mataji. So I have to close my eyes to listen to you. Otherwise, it's attracting so much, and especially that example what Prabhuji gave, and the pictorially you presented that three mode of the prayers. It's very beautiful, Mataji. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. All glories to Paramkarna Prabhuji and Damodar Leela Mataji. Without them, their blessings, I cannot even probably speak one alphabet.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Anyone else? So once again, Sarvasakti Mataji is saying, very, very beautiful presentation, very beautiful pictures. I really like the message. ठाकुर जी से मांगना है तो ठाकुर जी को ही मांगना है. So she's saying, please convey this message to
Yes,
Mataji.
that was so beautiful. ठाकुर जी को ही मांगना है. Yes.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Such a nice, one thing that I cannot forget from your presentation is that picture of that little boy holding the umbrella on the Lord.
Can I share it again, Prabhuji?
Absolutely. That is such a, I don't know how you found it. It conveys the point so strongly home. It hits the point home that, we are here to serve the Lord. And that is such a beautiful example of personal service to the Lord. Oops.
Sorry.
Yeah, that one. It was such a beautiful picture. And you really picked out some of the very key points from the verses about reductionism. You explained that so nicely. How you put that puzzle on top of the picture of Lord Damodar. And by looking at the parts, actually the way I understood is that the Lord is not looked in that picture. We cannot see that he's being tied. It looks like the mother is, loving the Lord. But if you remove the puzzles, those pieces, you will see actually she's, tying him up. So which is not such a nice thing. So from the parts, it's so difficult to figure out the whole. And that's what we are trying to do in reductionism. That was very nice. And I'm very happy that you pointed out the other point about how the more we desire to be looked at, the more lifeless we become. And the more we want to look at the Lord or others, the more full of life we become. So all these are such wonderful points that you very nicely curated in your presentation and very succinct. I didn't realize you managed to cover all these important points in like about 15 to 17 minutes. It was amazing. I think you have very, very strong presentation skills. And one thing that I could see is that the one word that I can say that led to this was preparation. So it was evident that a lot of preparation went behind it, and the output is obvious, or it's very apparent. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It is only because of your blessings and your guidance. Naito, I cannot do anything.
Gurujanas.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
All right. Anything else? Last minute comments? Okay. If not, then that's all we had on the agenda today. next week we will start. We can start nectar of instruction, or we still have we can quickly complete the remaining 6 limbs of Navadha Bhakti or Navvidha Bhakti, the 9 processes. I think covered Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Smaranam. Maybe we didn't cover Smaranam. I can't remember. I'll go back and listen to the video or see where we stopped. So I will decide what to do. So, but otherwise, that's one of those 2 things. And all the best to all the devotees who are taking the test. And I have sent out detailed instructions on the Bhakti Shastri group, the WhatsApp. Please look at it. And yeah, that's it. Anything else anybody has last minute?
Prabhuji, after recording stops, I have to discuss with you.
Okay, sure. And then I see Manasi Ganga Mataji is also admiring Shamlila Mataji's presentation very much. So wanted to convey that to you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
I changed the setting of the Zoom to only message to me, not to everyone, because in the other class, the new class that we have started, there's a lot of like a parallel discussion kind of going on. While I'm talking about Bhagavad Gita, somebody is asking a question and other people are beginning to reply. And, there's like a whole parallel thing going on. So I changed the setting to only to be able to message to me. Once they are more they learn the discipline of being in the class, then I will relax the setting. What to do? When there is a lack of discipline, then you have to force it sometimes. Okay, so that's the reason. Okay. Anything else? Okay, then we will resume next week. Thank you so much for joining and giving your kind attention to our 2 wonderful presenters today, Ramakant Prabhu and Shamlila Mataji. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Just after